I think I told you a couple of videos ago, or maybe at the beginning of this van build, that I want to put the roof lights, I'll put a picture in here. The two outside reds were blue, the two inside reds were red, and they were all flashing when you're in B-bar mode. And I want to make them driving lights. So when I turn on my parkers, the whole back light, red lights light up, and then the middle white one is an outside back awning light. But it's a 3-wire system. And what I mean by that is, this is the wiring, because they obviously flash. So you have a mains, probably a constant neutral, constant mains, and then a flashing mains. Anyway, I could not, for the life of me, get these to wire. Plus, I don't know, this is dirty, but you might say it's a fluorescent tube, which could be heavy on juice. So when I was getting the SQI done, I mentioned to Killian that I'd love to have them on as on, and he suggested, when I showed him the unit, now this is a blue one, I haven't taken any of the red ones off yet because I'm going to play with this, but he suggested taking out the bulb, okay, taking out that bulb which has to be cut, cutting a hole, cutting off some of this and putting in some LED strip lighting. Now I have some LED strip lighting and I fitted it onto a little plug like so, and I got a light fitting, one of the blue ones, and I cut the back off it and I stuck the LED light fitting there, and it just kept sagging. So then I made a little plate, and I'm going to stick some of the glue, Gary's glue, is drying on this. I'm going to stick a strip of LED light there, have the cables come down, and then clip it onto my 12-volt power supply with a red lens on. Well, I'll stick a blue lens on because I've no red lenses, just to see if that works. And if that looks okay with a strip of LED light. Now, the LEDs come with a 3M peel-off strip, and it's stuck onto that, but I might actually Gary's glue, put a glue and stick. I just want to be sure that they're not going to fall off. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut another piece of LED strip because that's too short. I'm going to stick it to that when it's dry. It takes about 10 minutes to dry, and then that way it won't sag, because it was sagging in the middle. When I just stuck it on, it was sagging in the middle. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to put a lens on. I'm going to power it up. And if that works, I think that's the plan for today. Or if not today, but that's the plan. So here's a shot of what I'm doing. Remember, I'm doing it with the red lenses. I'm just going to try it out with the blue ones before, during, because I've cut the bulb out, and after. Now I've just got to stick the LED onto that and then power it up. And if it works, I'm going to do it that way. It's a lot of work, but I'm going to do it that way for the red ones. Okay, so I've cut 4 lamps. I've glued on the little bridges, and I've made up the LED strips of lights with a plug on the end of them. These are very flimsy to solder, but they're done. They're tested, they work. So the next plan is, and I'll just grab one of them here. It's very cold. It's only 4 degrees, less than 4 degrees. So I'm going to let this dry overnight and come back tomorrow. So that's on there. The next plan is to stick the LED light onto that, throw a red cover on, power up the tails, and if it works, I'm just going to replace the 4 that are on the ambulance. And then at a later date, or indeed maybe later on in the next couple of days, I'll actually wire them onto the parking lights, because I'm on a at this date, as I was telling you, we're into January, we're in the lockdown. It's been extended till like the 5th or 6th of March. So I'm not going to get the solar cables to do the solar. So I'm doing fiddly little bits. I can't get Tommy back down until I have the solar done, and then he's covering up all the cable runs and building other little bits, so we can't finish the carpentry. So if I can get the front lights done where I want to put the Charlie and Me logo, if I can get these done, I'll fit the new batteries that I got. I got 2 new 110 amp hour batteries. I'll fit them, hopefully they'll fit into the tray. So I'm doing fiddly little bits while we're waiting for lockdown to allow us to complete the build. Hi everybody, welcome back to another day of doing the backlights on the ambulance. I want to put them on as my parking lights. I'll just turn this camera in now and show you the way it looks at the moment. So that's how it looks at the moment. As I say, those 2 outside ones were blue and the inside were red. They all flashed. The middle one is on my awning light switch, and the two extreme small ones out here and over there are indicators, driving lights and parking lights. So I hope to tap off this one for these two and tap off this one for these two and just have them come on as parking lights. If all this works when I test them, that's what I'll be doing today. So for years, and I'll say for 3 or 4 years, I've always wanted to do an ambulance build, a conversion. Not a van ambulance, but the box body ambulance that I have. And I follow, and I've mentioned him a few times, Project Amber in the UK, who now has actually bought property in Portugal and is living there, still living in his ambulance camper van. Check him out on YouTube, Project Amber. So I got some of my design ideas, but from his videos, but one of the things I liked is, as he drove off, the roof lights came on as parking lights. And as I mentioned earlier, the outside ones were blue, the insides were reds, and they all flashed. And I couldn't get the 3-wire system to work. And again, I said earlier, Killian, the chap who came down to do the SQI, suggested cutting them to bits and guntering and making it work. Take a look at this. Do you know what? The sun has come out. It's 12:15, and there's a bit of heat there actually. Today is the Thursday, the 28th of January. I've always wanted to get those lights going. It's taken a few days to figure them out to get it going. I soldered all the cables and then heat shrinked all the joints on all of the cables, and I'm delighted with it. So thank you, Killian O'Cinada, the SQI inspector, agent, for suggesting that to me, because I was giving up, I have to be honest. There's things in this, we're going to be hanging on to this camper. It is a camper now that it has passed its SQI, but we're going to be hanging on to this for at least one season for myself and Charlie when we go off. Please God, if we get out camping in 2021 and maybe even 2022, that will be the van we bring. That will be the van we bring when we're reviewing campsites and airs and stopovers in Ireland. The motorhome that we still have, the HYMERs for myself, Deirdre and Charlie when we go on our holidays and stuff like that. So, quite chuffed with the way things are coming on. That concludes this roof lighting. I've still got to do the front lights. I think that's another video. I'm waiting for parts, and because of lockdown, I can't get the parts for that. I'm Aaron from Charlie and Me Are Camping Vlog. Thanks to our friends at Gary's Glue, garysglue.ie, as you know, have sponsored every single video as part of this build. And thank you as well to Michael Murphy. He supplied the tools. We used the heat gun and drills today, so thank you very much for that. Thank you for supporting us. We'll talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.